Uh,
Wake up, bro.
huh?
Wake up.
It's early at yours too, and I know you were awake when I was awake, so you slept less than me.
Yeah, I woke up at like 3:50.
It's just like, wait, what?
Yeah, I woke up at like 3:50.
Why do you sleep so little?
I don't know. I'm just built different.
Bro, that's not healthy. That's like heart inducing failure type thing. Like, this is not a this is not founder flex.
I don't know. Just some days I just don't sleep much. Some days I sleep a lot. I don't know. It's not like I was trying to sleep that little. I went to sleep at 11:30 with the intention of waking up at 5, and I just couldn't. Yeah, I just couldn't sleep.
I was editing at like 12:30 and you were responding to my text messages at 12:30.
Yeah, that's eleven
Which
thirty here though.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, I went to sleep like around 11:30, but like as soon as I went to sleep, I like fell asleep, and then I woke up at like 3:50.
What the hell?
I mean, it's not that bad. Should I wear my headphones or are you good?
No, you're good. You don't need headphones. Alright, let's get started. Theo asked you something. Theo, the Mauritian. We have a Mauritian. What did he ask you?
He told me to fix the square feet.
What do you have to say to him?
I told him I would do it tonight, cutie, and I did it that night. The error was there. I just never. I just thought it was put it as low priority because like every time it would just show 0 square feet on the thing. I
Yeah.
didn't think anyone cared about it, and like it was like a one line fix. I just was reading. It was just like a variable change. I was just reading the variable wrong, but like I didn't think people cared that much about how much
Well,
square feet the apartment is. But
yeah, actually, I didn't think about that either because when I saw that message, I was like, SQFT. What would you care about square feet? And then I realized, oh right, you need to care about how big your place is gonna be.
yeah,
Shout out Theo for pointing it out, I guess.
deal for sure.
We also need to invite other people that were in the initial phases of ChatAPT, like even Byron. Shout out Byron. He loves his shout outs because he listens to these episodes fully.
Brian.
Because Byron also was testing very thoroughly when you first started building and announcing ChatAPT at the beginning.
He was testing, but like he was also looking for apartments.
Yeah,
So he was like
ideal
he
user.
was an ideal user for it because like he was literally um the user. He literally fit all the description under 35 in the city, blah
Yeah.
blah.
When it
Yeah.
comes to user feedback, like people like Theo and Byron, these are like friends of ours. Uh, but I don't see. Well, you did say also that people on Reddit would reach out to you and give you feedback and stuff. Bless you. But
Thank you.
do you get feedback from other users in general? Because on PostHog we see people's user patterns, but we don't really know their frustrations. It doesn't. We don't. We don't really get to see that on PostHog.
Yeah. That's true that you don't get to see on post hog, but like on post hog, you do get to see the way you're using it, and then you get to see um if they're using it the way it was intended to be built, right? So there's kind of like a transition to the search engine part because like they were using the app as a search engine instead of a personal assistant. So the frustration there was that oh like people were using this as what it was not meant to be, um, but then it was kind of harder to use that way, as a so it's hard to use an assistant as a search engine basically.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, in terms of like personal feedback, I've not. In the early days, I've reached out directly to users. I've emailed them to ask for feedback. That's how I got feedback then. Like, I would email like emailed a couple users to ask how it was working for them, and they all really liked it. But yeah, I haven't done that recently.
Okay, cool. Um, why did we ever talk about why you started building ChatAPT? From your experience, was it an actual frustration, or did you just want to become rich and this was a pinpoint you identified in the market?
Um, um, it was because I was looking for an apartment. I mean, there's two things. Number one, I was looking for apartments, and I was doing the usual bullshit of going to Zillow, going to just doing a bunch of like research. You know, I'm like, okay, here's what I need for my apartment. It needs to be close to the gym. It needs to be this certain amount of time from my work in downtown. Uh, and yeah, I was just doing the usual bullshit that I always do every year of like just taking up time to do that research. And this year I was like, you know, why can't I just build an LLM to do this for me, right? So, first I tried looking up online. First I tried using Zillow to see if I can do if I can do the same thing on Zillow, because I think they have like because the search, I think they have like a natural language search as well, but it didn't work maybe it was for something else, but like it didn't work for me. So like, um, I think the natural language search just takes like natural language and it just maps that to the filters rather than like actual searching.
Oh, okay.
So that didn't work. And then I tried another website called Sunny.com, where it's a chat assistant for apartment finding. And I think they're also trying to focus on Gen Z. But didn't work at all. Like I would ask for an apartment like in the north side or something with these features, and it's gonna give me like 400 listings, apartments all over the city. I'm like, I mean, I'm sure there's an apartment here somewhere that match, but like this goes against the whole purpose of not wasting time on search, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, well, this can't be that hard. So then I just spent like 2 weeks building it. Um, so I was like V1, and then I just started using it. And I know Baron was also looking for a premise, so I sent it to him, and he started using it as well. Um, and I'm like, yeah, maybe this is gonna be useful for other people. Um, there was a potential there for it to. I mean, I work on a lot of side projects, so there was just another side project. But I think this side project turned out to be really very useful for me, especially. So I was like, it might be useful for other people too, you know.
Yeah. And I guess when you started sharing on Reddit too, you started getting actual feedback, people using it, seeing the analytics, gave you motivation probably.
Yeah. So there's been just like I think it hits different when you're working on something with people using it, because like you know that you're not just building some random shit that no one is ever gonna see.
Yeah.
So like when I'm pushing updates and I'm doing it, I know at least someone's gonna look at it, right?
Yeah.
So that's like it actually gives me a lot of motivation to like continue to like. I know it's
Interesting.
not completely useless. Um, yeah. So then,
Oftentimes, yeah. Okay.
go ahead.
Oftentimes I encounter similar moments, but not to find a place to live. But right now, it's been, I was thinking about trying to find a new job. And while thinking about it, I was just thinking about, I wish there was a chat APT for this process, because finding a job is equally as annoying as finding a new place, because you need to tell the person who you are, what your previous experiences have been, and sometimes there might be a role that might be out there for you that you might not be aware of. Similar to ChatAPT, you can submit a lot of information about you, and it will suggest you locations based on the information you've given, not a bunch of toggles. So when you go find a job on LinkedIn, it's kind of like the same experience as Zillow, just keep like toggling all of these filters until you find something for you. So I was wondering if you ever thought of the skeleton of the search feature of ChatAPT being something that's like translatable to other things. So focusing on the the skeleton aspect of ChatAPT that, and then make that whole system be replicatable across different verticals.
Yeah. So you kind of referring to like in a personalized search agent, basically, right?
Yeah, for things like for things that exist within certain systems, because for houses, apartments, and stuff, it exists within MLS and Zillow. So you're basically refining the search experience for that. And for jobs like LinkedIn, Indeed, and stuff. So basically pulling the information from these systems into a system like ChatGPT's search system.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. So, um, I'm gonna answer that question, but like before, that kind of reminded me of something else that I was thinking about working on before ChatGPT, and maybe even almost worked on. Um, was a personalized uh search assistant for when you shop.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this actually exists and actually works kind of decently, but like if you're looking for, I don't know, um, headphones or something, right? You would tell the agent that like I want these headphones, and like instead of doing a bunch of research on YouTube, what are the best headphones, you just tell the agent like what you're gonna do with the headphones and stuff like that, and then
Hmm.
they're gonna go out and find it. Um, so that was something that I was thinking about building like last year at some point. Um, I think around the same time I was building Runnable. Um, so I think that's kind of like in the same vertical as what you're saying, right? I mean, I think there was a similar product that did what I was talking about. It was called, I think it was called Claros. And I don't know why I didn't build it, but I don't know. I think there was a reason why I didn't build it. But like, yeah, I mean, with your idea about the job thing, there are agents that are focused on jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there are agents. I mean, I've seen some of them on like Reddit where like it goes ahead and finds the jobs they think you're gonna like, and then it also applies to the job for you.
Right.
But yeah, you're definitely right. I mean, I think the logic could probably be the same. Like, uh, the logic could probably be the same, but it might not be as good. I feel like the thing with LLMs right now is you kind of really have to like be specific about what to do. Um, with if you're, I don't think they're at a spot yet where like you could just generally tell it like what to do, and then it's gonna go ahead and do it. I think like LLMs are really gonna sell in different verticals than like having like a multi-vertical thing, at least
Mm-hmm.
right now, the way it works. Because like for it to work really well in a specific thing, it needs to have like a lot of context in that thing. So I'm not really sure how the dynamics of of looking for a job may be similar to the dynamics of looking for an apartment, but it's not going to be as good in either domain. I don't think. Um,
Yesterday I was doing this video yesterday where this user came in on ChatGPT and she said, I'm not sure, I just assumed it was a she. She said that she's trying to live 30 minutes from downtown. This was like a user on June 5th. 30 minutes from downtown, and she has two young cats. So she needs to be able to uh, find a place 30 minutes from downtown by commute by bike or by public transit. So before I checked what ChatAPT was able to generate for her, I checked the experience on Zillow. So I went on Zillow and I looked at how easy it was to run this query. And I realized that on Zillow, you have to guess. She said 30 minutes from the loop, I mean. So 30 minutes from the loop, you have to basically use the draw feature and kind of guess. Keep drawing a circle bigger, slowly, make it bigger and bigger until you find a place that matches having cats, is in your price range, and um, fits the location that you're seeking and the distance that you're seeking from that location. And it's not.
Yeah, and that's only not only do you have to draw the circle and get bigger and bigger. You also for each apartment in that circle, you need to go and check the commute time.
Yeah, exactly.
About that, yeah.
And you have to check the commute time, and let's say you are a user who actually cares about having a gym in your area, having coffee shops in your area. Now you have to go drop a pin on Google and do street view and go explore, or go on Reddit, search all these things, right? And slowly, the more the user opens up about their search query, the more you'll see that it's like the initial search starts as something very primitive. Same for finding a job. I'm just looking for a data analyst role. And then slowly you are saying, okay, I'm looking for a data analyst role in fintech. I'm looking for a data analyst role in fintech under operations, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, that's why when I was thinking about this pain point, I was actually genuinely looking for other jobs online. And I was like, man, I wish there was a ChatGPT experience, but for
Yeah,
finding jobs.
yeah, yeah. Did you try using any of the ones that exist right now? Because I mean, that's definitely, I think there's definitely a good problem. I mean, and maybe at some point, I don't know, we can try to see if we can use some of this logic and apply it to that same logic or generalize it. But
It's not only the logic; it's also the user experience. Um, because the focus of ChatGPT is very much for user experience, right? Just easily find apartments, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say you're bringing up all these agents that you found on Reddit and stuff, and I think ChatGPT might fall in the same category of I'm a lame person. I mean, I'm working on ChatGPT, but that's to the extent of it. And I have never heard of any of these things. Like I'm still using primitive tools like LinkedIn. I'm still using like regular job finder websites. I am not really in the deep about all these tools that exist to help me out there.
Yeah.
So it's
Uh,
funny. People there are all these tools that people are building, but
yeah.
it
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of these like manual, like a lot of these like manual work. There's a lot of manual work that's being done on the internet today, and I think a lot of them are probably gonna be replaced by some type of LLM. And yeah, most people don't know about a lot of it because like, it's still fairly new.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you just go on Reddit and you go on one of the ChatGPT threads, you're gonna see a bunch of them. But the thing is, they also don't work that well, right?
Yeah.
Like the shopping thing didn't work that well. I feel like I could have built one. Um, the before ChatGPT, the previous AI primary search barely even worked. So it's like I don't think it's at a time where like at least people are probably even really trusting it because it probably doesn't work that well. Even ChatGPT, I mean, it works, but like it's not. It doesn't work as well as I would like it to right now. Um, and I mean, that's just gonna take a lot more like building, right? Uh, but like, yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be at a point where you shouldn't be doing all these layman manual toggles, filters,
Yeah.
spending hours trying to look for something anymore. It will be done for you like much quicker with AI.
In the process of building Chat APT, what's explain the name Chat APT?
I mean, when I built it, it was the vision was to be a chat assistant for apartments.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it's not Chat GPT. What is
Right.
it? It's Chat APT. But like I mean, also for consumer companies, like I realized that like half the effort is probably branding, right? And then a big part of the branding is your name.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a B2B company. You can name it some bullshit like 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 Claros or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They can name it some bullshit like Brev. I don't know. You can name, but like with with consumer companies, like it needs to be memorable, right?
Okay.
And ChatAPT is pretty memorable. It needs to be short. The domain was available. It described what we did. So yeah, so it's just. But now I feel like it's at a point where we should probably like change it though because it's really not the vision is not a chat assistant anymore,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, it would have a chat assistant inside of it maybe, but like the vision of the company is not just a chat assistant. So like I mean I don't know. I spent like a couple hours trying to think of similar names, but like nothing has landed yet.
Have you watched the Silicon Valley episode where the guy is trying to figure out a name for his new company? So he takes shrooms and goes in the desert.
Yeah.
Ever
No,
considered that?
I I can't even find my shroom guy didn't pick up. No, I'm kidding. Uh, maybe I'll go to India and try some street food. No, I'm kidding. I will get canceled.
Okay. I guess we'll need to discuss new namings. Um,
Yeah.
what's life as a solo builder?
What do you mean? Eric's my builder. Okay.
Right.
Honestly, I doesn't feel like I'm a solo builder because I've been using the agent on Cursor as like a co-builder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's gonna sound crazy, but like, is Cursor's working on a feature, I'm working on another feature, and then I'm also planning the next feature for Cursor. So it's like, so it's like this weekend I got so much done, but like you would think that I spent out like, I mean I did spend hours, but like you would think that I didn't sleep or anything, but like I built a whole it, I built a whole like rebranding of the site, remember matching everything in one weekend, um, and a lot of it was Cursor. So like, it doesn't feel like I'm a solo builder because all the AI tools I'm using. So like, it's kind of like two the two-step process. First, I need to figure out how it's gonna look. Then I need to figure out how I'm gonna build it.
Mm-hmm.
For the first part, um, I would go on a similar site. Because I suck at UI, right? So I will go on a similar site or something. I'll try to find some inspiration, screenshot it, and then I'll go to a cursor, be like, oh, change this page to make it look more like this page. And while cursor is doing that, I'm gonna be planning out how the API endpoints is gonna look like.
Mm.
And then as cursor is finishing the UI, I'm gonna be like, oh, by the way, implement this API endpoint. And if that's doing it in the back end, I'm gonna go on the front end and then tell cursor on the front end to implement this API endpoint. This is how it should look. And then when they're both done, I'm gonna test. Um, and then sometimes it just gives slop, so I'm gonna have to just go and refactor it. But like it still did like 85% of the work.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like my floor right now. And also, I don't know if you heard of Google Stitch, but like, sorry,
Damn, the AC hit you.
there used to be this company called Galileo AI that I thought was really promising. They're solving a problem that I've always wanted to solve, like for like 5 years, and I just can't because I don't think I'm the one to solve that problem. And that problem is that engineers like me that are not good at design can't make beautiful products because we don't have the eye for it. And this company called Galileo AI, I've been watching them for like past year or two, and they basically are like, I don't know if they have design on them, but like they're basically a the goal is to allow like people like they don't have good design like generate beautiful product markups. So they just got acquired by Google, and it's now called Google Stitch. And I used it for the first time this weekend to build a rebrand of the website.
So
So
it also spits out the code for it, or just the design?
it spits out the code, but I don't use the code because the code is not doesn't have context about like ChatAPT. It's just some generic HTML and CSS. So what I do is I go back and forth with it a bit. I give it some inspirations. We fight a little bit, and then I'm finally I'm finally um happy with the design. Screenshot it, and then I gave it to my junior software engineer cursor.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, this page, I want you to make it look like this page. Does that, and then if that's fine enough, I'm designing the object model, and then it's done. I'm like, all right, connect to this endpoint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it really does not feel like I am building by myself. Like as crazy as that sounds. So that's I made a post on Twitter that like the next $1 billion like consumer company is gonna be built by like 10 people, like an engineering team of 10 or less probably.
Yeah,
Like
Sam Altman said the same thing like 2 years ago.
yeah, I mean it's crazy. Like I don't think that like you don't need that big of a team to make a product anymore. Like
So if you were to expand the engineering team at ChatAPT beyond yourself, is that still something that's valuable to you nowadays, or?
for sure, because sure AI can generate thing, a bunch of code if you tell it what to do. You need to tell it what to do. That's the key here. You need to tell it what to do, how to do it. It's like a little, it's like a little kid that's really good at spitting out code. You know how like a little kid, like you need to tell like a little kid like, all right, put your shoes on. But then if the kid is putting the shoes on, they're not putting the shoes on so well. You know what I mean? It's kind of
Okay,
like this,
interesting.
like all right, put your shoes on. But you need to tell her to put his shoes on. But then that better be the best shoe tie in the world. Exactly like that. You still need mental effort, and another engineer would definitely be helpful with the mental effort of trying, or like, or deciding like how to make this faster, or like, and things like that. You know. So like you still need people to like think about these things, but like the actual implementation. So you just need less people. You need less code crunchers and more analytical people and like problem solvers, I think.
Interesting. So that sounds like a little bit like product managers for AIs, but not really.
Problem managers aren't technical though, as a thing.
Gotcha.
I feel like if you don't already know how to code pretty well, you won't be as efficient. Because I still review its code, and sometimes it's just doing bullshit. So I have to like be like, take a step back, just step back, and then I'll be like, are you sure this is how you're gonna do it? Are you sure? Because I know that's not how you should do it. And then it's like, oh, you're right. Maybe I should do it this way. I'm like, good job. Because I'm looking at it, I'm like, all right, this doesn't seem right. Like it'd be much faster than this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you do this, wouldn't this be slower? And then it's like, oh yeah, you're right. It would be slower. So then it fixes it again. So like, you should still definitely know like what is you should definitely still know how to code well for you to use it as well as possible. But sorry, I think I lost. I didn't even know what you were asking anymore.
I was just saying, if you hired a bunch of engineers, it's basically like hiring a bunch of PMs for AIs.
Oh, not PM. No, not PM. PM aren't
Yeah.
technical. Maybe like I would still hire engineers that just can think about problem at a bigger picture and like be more analytical. I will I would love to like work with like someone who's like has expertise in search engines and embeddings, AI embeddings. Because I don't know much about that, so I don't know. Like, sure, I can ask ChatGPT, but like, ChatGPT doesn't have the context that I do. Really, ChatGPT can't really look at my code base and tell me like where things can be more efficient. Um,
Can you elaborate what AI embeddings means?
AI embeddings is basically like um, I don't know, my man. AI embedding is like basically um, vectorizing like natural language to its semantic meaning. So like if you have something like uh, modern apartments and you have something like apartments built after 1976, that can have like similar like um, embeddings. So they're like kind of semantically the same, right?
Hmm.
Um, so you vectorize both sentences and then you compare its embeddings basically. Um, so like yeah, I don't know much about it, but I know it's very useful in terms of like seeing like understanding semantics between sentences, and I think using that can be very useful in making searches faster. Because like, if somebody types in like apartments with large windows, and somebody else types in like apartments with sunlight, that probably has probably similar embeddings, and I could probably use some of the results from apartments with. I could probably share results like the search process. I could probably share between both processes, and then make things faster. As far as I just know I could probably do that based on my knowledge, but like somebody that has worked extensively with search engines and embeddings probably will probably have much more knowledge on that, right?
Gotcha.
Um, yeah. You mind if I get some water real quick?
Yeah, good. In episode one, we filmed 2 weeks ago. You said you learn a lot from building consumer products from college. Uh, can you share a little bit of some, like at least like one big thing or like two big things that you have taken away since building from college that you realize about building consumer products?
Well, not just in college, but I guess the time from college to now. I think one of the biggest is branding, like I was saying before. Um, if you look at like other consumer companies, like even Sizzle, they all have a brand. Um, like even like if you go on the TikTok, everything is very similar. Everything is very branded. Um, like just branding, I guess. So like that's why the name ChatAPT was like chosen, right? Because like that's gonna be something that can be easily branded later on. Which is what we're trying to do now. But like branding and having a memorable name, having yeah, that's half the battle for marketing. Like, can your product be branded? The first thing, and then I guess the second thing, um, I mean, I'm still learning. But the second thing, I would say I just learned this recently. I just learned this recently, maybe like the past like month, maybe, is and this probably sounds obvious, but like it wasn't obvious to me before. Is that like you need eyeballs, like a lot of eyeballs. Like you can have a
Yeah.
great product, and before you have a great product, and no one's gonna use it, because before you're just like, oh, I have a great product, people are gonna find out,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
But like you have a great product, no one will use it if no one knows about it,
Mm-hmm.
and that was not. like it sounds stupid to say, but like once if you're a builder, and you just build every um a lot of builders just build. They don't really think about like how they're gonna bring this in front of eyeballs. So like you need a lot of eyeballs, and that's probably the hardest part about building a consumer company. I think like it's not the engineering, it's not like it's how do you get in front of eyeballs, and it's kind of like it's like working against you too, which is crazy because like people on Reddit don't want you to post because they think you're spammy. Reddit um, on on TikTok and Reels and whatever, you have to like understand the algorithm for you to even get anywhere. Which I think is crazy to me because like if it was up to me that was building like that made like Instagram and TikTok, like like why is it so hard for me to push content to an audience? Like why can't I just select the audience? Like why do I just have to push it in the dark and then the algorithm is gonna decide the audience? Like if it was up to me, I'll make a video. I'll just choose a button. I want it to go to these people, you know,
Yeah.
like. But you have to play a bunch of games like with this, which is crazy to me. Um, and it's just like everything's kind of like working against you. Just you're trying to put in front of all these eyeballs, and then and everything's working against you to keep it away from the eyeballs. It's which is crazy to me. So it's like, yeah, I'm still trying to tackle that second part, like how we're gonna do that. But like, I mean, you have some pretty good ideas that other than the notion. Um, those two things.
Yeah. So speaking of which, our next 3 months were focused on getting 50,000 users, or at least 50,000 queries made by all our users.
Per month?
Total.
Total.
Just like yeah, just like by August. And one of the big ideas, especially setting August as a target date, is because August is a time period where a lot of people move. In colleges, a lot of people will be moving in. A lot of people will be finding places. But in general, August is a pretty hectic time when it comes to real estate. Prices actually increase around that time. So around that time, we should be basically have primed a lot of things. So people already know that ChatAPT is there for their convenience. You are building a new feature, the roommate matching tool, that I think will be also be really key into building this 50,000 user set. But besides that, and besides posting on Instagram, are there other things that you've considered that can make this go crazy, get the eyeballs, get people to know about it?
Yeah. There's a couple of things that I think. So first, I feel like we underestimate the power of search engines. Um, Getting the search engine right. Um, that's like yeah, getting SEO right, which is what I think I'm gonna focus on for the next 2 days. Cause I keep like putting that as low priority, but like it's not low priority. I don't think. Um, Second, uh, to elaborate on the roommate feature, yeah, I think that could probably be pivotal. Uh, but like it needs to be flushed out more. Like we should be able to like send a profile of a person that's looking for a roommate from ChatAPT to someone else. Um, so that person can be like, oh, and then link back to ChatAPT, right? So shareable profiles for sure. Um, so I'm still thinking about how to flush out the roommate feature. Um, Third, I mean, that's still kind of go to the roommate feature, but like, I think leverage doing like you using the summer maybe to do like some to do like different things, different live events I was telling you about, or like um yeah, or like live events or whatever. But I don't know if you heard of Pi, but like it's like the Gen Z event, right? And like and it's focused on like cities like Chicago, SF, New York, basically what we're focused on.
Hmm.
And the whole point of Pi is to get a bunch of Gen Zs together to do shit together. So and you can host on Pi as well. So like um they've been using that to our advantage. Maybe like doing like, oh, if you're looking for a roommate, you know, we could do like a live matching thing, live roommate speed dating thing, sponsored by ChatAPT. There's another one. I was thinking maybe like subleases. I think is going to be a big part of the thing because like if you go on Reddit, half of what people are looking for are sublease. Um, and a lot of college students are also either. I mean, yeah. So I mean, it would have been better like maybe a month ago, but like right when school ended, a lot of college students that were going back home sublet their apartment. Um, so if the sublease feature was available then, that would have been cool. But it could maybe even now, like when they're moving in, the people might try to find people to take over their rent for the semester or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think those things. But then again, it's kind of like putting this in front of eyeballs. So Reels is one way, but I don't know. I feel like Reels and TikTok is kind of like give or take. Like I feel like we shouldn't rely on them to get eyeballs because like they may decide to show it to people, they may decide not to, and it's sometimes it's like weird. Like why they decide? I still can't figure it out. I can't figure out the algorithm. Uh, it's like some black box
Yeah.
that like that you need to like play with. So like I think we definitely need other ways to get eyeballs and
Hmm.
it needs to be like creative. You know what I mean? So like yeah, I mean there's kind of my ideas now, but like
Yeah. Recently, I was listening to this How I Built This episode about Calm, the meditation app. And the founders previously, and this is something that I get really irritated by how I built this episodes, is that these founders built things and then the things end up going viral on their own, right? It's like, oh, I posted it on Reddit and all of a sudden it went viral.
mm,
But, their luck. So these founders, when they were younger, one of them posted this website, and the website basically had 1 million tiles. Okay. And as a user, you can buy the location of one tile for $1. And then you can paste whatever you want on your tile. You own this piece of the internet basically. So you can make it a color or you can post a picture, I think. Basically, just pay $1 and there's 1 million tiles, and he built it and he posted it on Reddit and it went viral. Okay, so 1 million people bought 1 million positions, or at least it was worth, it was, might not be 1 to 1, but he got $1 million out of his project. Okay, viral idea number one. Second thing he built was uh, he built this website where when you go on the website's called Don't Do Anything for 2 minutes. So when you click on it, don't do anything for 2minutes.com, you arrive on a website, and if you touch anything on your computer, it resets the timer. But the timer, as soon as you enter the website, the timer is going down 2 minutes. Basically, you're supposed to meditate during those 2 minutes, which is the inception of calm for these guys, right?
mm,
That went viral as well. Uh, So I was thinking, like, are there any sort of outside quirky things we can do about ChatGPT? Because the idea in itself is very functional. It's not like an idea that's supposed to go viral. Oh, find an apartment. Because finding an apartment is something that's not exciting. It's very something you have to do kind of thing. So I was thinking
Yeah.
about if there's an element of adding that layer of excitement externally through something as fun as ideas that are quirky like that.
Yeah. Um, I mean, one thing I was thinking of, I guess, and also it's kind of, I guess, inspired by Eric, is maybe having like a feature for like Airbnbs, um, where you can be like, I want an Airbnb, and you can actually add to like surprise you, but you can kind of like tell it kind of like things that you what you want to do, maybe, um, and then it's like it's just gonna surprise you with like a trip basically, right? So you don't know where you're gonna go, or I mean maybe we could do this as like founders as well. Like we could be like, like we're gonna use AI to plan our next trip or something, and then we can like say some stupid shit, and then it's gonna give us a bunch of Airbnbs in different towns where we can do that, and then like just go on that trip and document it. That's one idea. I mean, I don't know how excited that is, but I mean, it sounds kind of interesting to watch. Maybe if it was like in a vlog bit system. Um, this one, but like, yeah, I see what you're saying. Like these like quirky viral like things. I don't know. It's something I have to think about. It's kind of like the Airbnb one's probably the biggest thing that I think might be closest to that. But like, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's interesting. Although Airbnb and finding an apartment, not really the same thing, but I think thinking about the idea itself is like already a good start of trying to find an external idea that can make us go quote unquote viral or at least generate some interest in a quirky way.
Yeah, yeah. It's another thing about.
Yeah, definitely. That's the first time I'm pitching it to you. I just heard about the episode during the weekend, so I wanted you, especially that would be helpful for clipping, to explain very briefly, concisely the new roommate matching feature. And I think it's going to be a killer part of ChatAPT, especially targeting Gen Z people, people in big cities, SF mainly, SF in New York, where people are looking to live with roommates to save up on rent. I know friends that have moved to SF that had to go through external services to live with other people and they just got matched randomly. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's horror stories. So, how does ChatGPT come in and the technology behind it? How are you planning on doing a roommate matching for there to be a good system of roommate matching?
Yeah. So right now the remote matching feature is still being flushed out. It is available, but it's being flushed out. So I haven't really pushed it yet. Um, but it's inspired by like a lot of ChatGPT is inspired by Reddit. um, and like a lot of these features are like data driven. So like I go on Reddit to see what people are doing, and I try to make the experience better to ChatGPT. So like, um, one of the biggest things that people are, do on Reddit is post, "Hi, I'm this. I'm 27F, living in Chicago. I gay. I'm not gay, but they're gay. they're like I'm 27. I'm 27F, living in Chicago. I'm quiet. I have a cat. I work here. I'm introverted, but I can be extroverted, and say a lot of things about them. And then I was like, comment if you want to be my roommate. So it's kind of like what I'm basing the feature on. If you go on ChatGPT, you go find a roommate. you tap in everything about you in that box, and then underneath that box you just like two filters where you're picking like the genre that you're comfortable with, um, and everything, and like basic things. But like the main thing is that box where you tap in everything about you, and then you save it, and then once you save it, you know the AI is gonna be doing an ongoing search of like um, who it thinks you're gonna be more compatible with based on you both of your personalities, and then once it finds a match, it's gonna notify you, and then it's gonna try to get you to it's gonna try to set up a call between both of you guys, and then and then call through there.
And
So there,
sorry, is there going to be a sort of a the same way you do match analysis on apartment? Are you going to explain why you match these two people together as well on ChatAPT's interface?
yeah, probably, yeah. So like maybe this is what you guys have in common, or this is why you guys might like to live together and stuff like that. Um, and it's gonna be kind of like that. Um, and then I think it should be more. I think it should really be more integrated into the product itself. When you're searching for apartments, you should be able to search for apartments where somebody needs a roommate. Like if Byron puts his apartment on ChatAPT, he could put his apartment on ChatAPT as a roommate apartment. So it's not a listing from a landlord. It's Byron's apartment. You should still be able to search those apartments in normally on ChatAPT search engine. You know.
Hmm.
So I think that would be, and then in the listing would be like a roommate apartment, a roommate apartment. You know what I mean? So you should still be able to search like that. That's one. I think another thing that can also bring a lot of people in is with the roommate feature is we need to tie in. If you get a roommate, okay, so there's two things. If you have a roommate right now and you both are looking for apartments, you should be able to invite your roommate on ChatGPT, and then have this shared save the list where you both could add saved apartments on there.
Mm.
Uh, so like if you press like save, but you have a roommate also, they could also be searching and you both add like a save wish list, and it's like kind of like collaborative. Should be able to invite your roommate to ChatGPT to like to collaborate
You,
and save stuff.
you mean your potential roommate? Like
Potential roommate.
some, yeah,
Yeah, that no. If you already have a roommate outside of ChatGPT, right? You should be
yeah,
able
yeah.
to invite them inside ChatGPT to help you search, um, and or we should be able to find a roommate on ChatGPT, and also you can also invite them to help you search as well. So the roommate should be like flushed into the product itself. Like it shouldn't just be like this external service, um, where it's like, oh, find a roommate, that's it, right?
Yep.
It needs to be like inside the product itself. And I guess to also answer your previous question, we can also do a lot of quirky things with our roommate. I guess like um, we could be like, oh, tell ChatGPT about yourself, and then and then see who's most like you, or like
Hmm.
um, who ChatGPT tell ChatGPT about yourself and see who you're most likely to be happy living with, or something like that.
Got it.
Along those lines. But yeah, that's kind of like the big idea for the roommate feature that I'm working on.
Cool. That's exciting. You've been posting query accounts increasing daily since we started posting more on Instagram on week one. Why don't you post more of it on Twitter?
What do you mean?
You know how search queries, query tasks, and stuff. You see the amount increasing.
Oh, you mean like the dashboard?
The two numbers, the two metrics that you keep an eye on.
Oh. I mean, I posted query count and listing on Twitter like a week ago.
Okay.
I don't post like the image, but I sometimes I tweet about the current statistics. Yeah.
I think I saw your marketing on Twitter, and then the other day I was like, you were saying, oh, there was you posted a new feature is out there, and then there was no image, no explanation, just text. Yes, but yeah, it's available out there. Go check it out.
Well, because I also know that like is probably not. It is my the. I'm too deep in tech Twitter, and I don't think my audience is on the side of Twitter that I'm on. So that's why I also don't really try to do that to like
Yeah,
do too much on Twitter because like they're all like super tech thing, MCP this, MCP that. Like they don't like you know what I mean? And they're all like I don't even know if they're even young. So like
yeah.
um, I don't think the audience is on Twitter really.
I think
So
on Twitter, I see there's a whole culture of not flexing, but posting statistics of how well you're doing. Or like, I remember when the build in public movement started, there was a lot of people who would be posting, even when we had just the first user, just like one user, we'd be like posting, oh yeah, we have one user right now. Oh, okay, this became 10. Okay, this became 50, 60, 100. And it makes people on Twitter almost want to root for you or prey on your downfall because it's pretty toxic of a platform as well. But also, it makes people want to go check out your platform, even if they want to hate on you, and then they'll remember at least that oh, this is the guy that was building the ChatAPT thing. That's
yeah,
why I know like the numbers aren't like crazy right now, but it is something. It is more than one user, which is super significant. Like so, I think maybe it would be worth while to post at least a weekly update on like user count or like how many searches people have done on ChatGPT, have people found this useful and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, you're right. You're
Especially because
absolutely.
you have a verified account.
Is that?
You have a verified account which gets more impressions. So
Mm, yeah, I'm paying for it. I might as well use it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right. That's the end of this episode.
All right, see you. Bye now.